Good morning. This meeting is going to be about response to intervention and our expectations while moving forward with it. Response to intervention is a multi-competent general education model, and we're going to use it to design to identify students who may be at risk for learning or behavior challenges, to offer support, and to monitor progress. So in tier one of an RTI system, this is about 85% of our students. We're going to make sure that all students should meet the needs of approximately, this should meet the needs of approximately 85% of the students. The interventionist is here as you, it's the general education teacher. Its setting is the general education classroom. It's variable and flexible grouping formats, and COVID, of course, we're looking at maybe grouping formats online, like breakout sessions, etc. Curriculum is scientific, research-based, math and reading instruction aligned to state standards, so is science, and differentiated based off student need and ability. This is current curriculum best practices. This should be all students. So when we say differentiate, we mean every student should have a different learning pathway. Everybody does. The duration is year long. This involves a significant block of uninterrupted for ELA and math instruction per day. Our assessment is screening 3 times a year, fall, winter, and spring. It's plus a combination of informal measurement of instruction and identify students who may be at risk for math and reading failure. Progress monitoring, students who are just below or a few points above the recommended benchmark. Score on universal screening may be progress monitored on a monthly basis. Behavior is attention to behavior factors like absenteeism and attention that impacts performance. So tier 2, this is when a student has been identified through the universal screener or through things like absenteeism and tardyism. It's about 10 to 15% of your students. Students considered at risk as determined by universal screening, progress monitoring, and additional validated measures of students' performance. This is test scores, stuff like that. The tier should target 10 to 15% of the student population. Trained, skilled, and knowledgeable school personnel, which includes you, but can also include me. So if we move a student to tier 2, I will have pullouts with students in your classroom that are viewed needed based off data, and we can have pullouts, we can have intervention to make sure that they understand the material. So this could be just a different pace. So I pull them out of the classroom, maybe teach them the lesson. Very self-targeted. Setting variable can occur in or outside the classroom. Small homogeneous grouping. Homogeneous means similar. So these students should all be the same. They're all in tier 2. We're not pulling out one of the bright students and having them work here. This isn't heterogeneous grouping. This is homogeneous grouping, which means everybody should be at the same level. It's supplemental evidence-based instruction designed to address skill deficits of students, and it complements and supplements core instruction. Duration varies based off rate of progress and performance of students. At minimum, students will stay in tier 2 for 12 to 18 weeks. Time is 20 to 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week, or consistent with intervention research. It's a combination of informal and formal measures to inform instruction and determine response to intervention. Use diagnostic assessments to identify specific skill deficits relative to reading and math. Every 2 weeks, we'll examine rate and level of performance. We can do this through quizzes, anything based off data. Tier 3 is 1 to 5%. This is going to be only highly trained, skilled, and knowledgeable school personnel. So me as the multi-classroom teacher, perhaps a curriculum coach, perhaps somebody else a reading coach. It most often takes place outside of this general education classroom. It's also small and homogeneous, so we're looking at 1 to 1 to 1 to 3 in our groupings. Curriculum is supplemental, customized, intensive, systematic, evidence-based instruction. So this is new. This is different curriculum from every other student. It's going to very specifically target the area of greatest needs. Varies as a minimum of 10 to 30 weeks.